Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here with the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 122-116 loss to the Utah Jazz. And this one was looking solid throughout. The Raptors had a lead throughout most of this game. Pascal Siakam was having a big night with the return of one of his best friends, the Yak and Skills duo. They were reunited while Jakob Poeltl came off the bench. Right, looked pretty solid there, at least in the first three quarters in terms of, being a rim protector. Had a couple nice blocks, rejections. I don't know how many he had in this game. And said he only had 0. He had definitely had one shot contest and a dunk. I thought that was a block. But Jakob Poeltl looked solid, doing all the little things. Nothing too crazy in terms of an electric box score. But I thought the Raptors looked pretty encouraging throughout. And then the last 5 minutes of this game. A horrific, an embarrassing, just an absolutely ugly collapse of this team. And this is what's been happening to this Toronto Raptors team over the course of this season. And Nurse made some questionable plays, at least in terms of moving players in and out of the rotation. I thought if Walker Kessler is going to be the guy that's dominating us, the Utah Jazz have 3 centers that are absolutely working us, and Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, and Kelly Olynyk. I know Markkanen's more of like a 3-4 combination in terms of player, but why did we just acquire Jakob Poeltl and he's not playing down the stretch? I don't know. It's not very good, but again, this is the first game with the new group, the new look lineups. We don't have OG Anunoby back in the lineups. Jakob Poeltl was dealing with a lot of foul trouble in this game, right? I'm going to try not to overreact to one game in this one, but it's very discouraging what just happened, what we just witnessed tonight. And, I want to start off with a positive because I was amped to talk about Pascal Siakam and how electrifying he was, especially for the first 3 quarters. Because, what did he have in this game? 35 points, 5 of 7 from the 3-point line, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Right, he was doing his thing, and most of the Toronto Raptors, right? Most of the Toronto Raptors had a pretty solid, and everyone in the starting lineup had a pretty solid go. But once again, Nick Nurse not running the bench, not giving a lot of minutes, even with Jakob Poeltl, the guy that we gave a basically unprotected, a mildly, very lightly protected first-round pick for, right? Even with him on the bench right now, our starters are still playing close to 40 minutes. Thaddeus Young off the bench had some time. Chris Boucher did his thing, but I'm just in a weird state right now, guys. I was amped up to come into this video, say that addition of Jakob Poeltl was game-changing. We come out and we beat the Utah Jazz, who are tanking themselves at this point. They just trade away 3 of some Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, some of their top guys, but 3 of their at least top 6 players, they gave them all away to the LA Lakers for basically nothing, and we still can't come out and beat this Utah Jazz team. We collapse. We have an epic loss. It's just shocking. It's honestly embarrassing at this point. Friday night, the Raptors, people are probably getting together, watching with their fans and with their friends, and we're out here having to do a Raptors therapy session. Even after the trade deadline, even after we make a win now move. But we have a super chat coming in. From Jack saying we should have traded Fred. WTF, Nurse, thank you. That's Fred VanVleet did not have a good outing in this one. There's no other way to put it. I've been a Fred supporter. I've stuck with him thick and thin. I've stuck with this guy, and I still am of the belief Fred VanVleet is a good player, is a starting caliber point guard and all that sort of stuff. But tonight, 17 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 of 13 from the field, 3 of 9 from the 3-point line, 2 steals. Again, not horrific, but still not the efficiency we want to see out of our starting point guard, right? We don't want to, minus 18 in the terms of plus minus for Fred VanVleet. 5 personal fouls in this one. It is unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate to see coming from Fred VanVleet out there. And the Paul Pierce Golden Kazoo Award of the evening, it's without a doubt going to the Fred VanVleet, for the infamous, the worst moment of the game. It's going to Fred VanVleet. It's going to that air ball he had to basically tie the game. The ball was swung to him. He had an open, completely naked, above the break 3-point shot, and didn't even get the mesh. Didn't even hit the side, the backboard. The shot didn't even have the decency to hit the net. Complete airball. So that was that was brutal. That was bad to see. The chat people are terrible, says Evie Doggy. But starting point guard for a G League team. That's tough. What's your take on the Bucks? My take on the Bucks is I'm probably going to be rooting for the Bucks in the playoffs if we don't make it. We're all with you, Ben, in that we're mostly at this bad. Yeah, Adventures with Smiles. It's hard to really, because I was kind of come in hyped, react to this game because there was a lot of good moments. The first 40 minutes of this game were great for the Toronto Raptors. They fought back on runs. They did their thing, and it's just an unfortunate epic ending. Now, I guess to look at the positives, we did look good when Jakob Poeltl was out there. I mean, he was plus minus wasn't too good, but again, we did let the other team center have a career high. Walker Kessler, that make matters worse. I know Chatty Thaddeus Young is a guy I love and all that sort of stuff, but trading him away for a guy right now that's not in our rotation in Christian Koloko, or he isn't with Jakob Poeltl signing. Walker Kessler will be a really nice player, and we trade him away for Thaddeus Young. So that's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. But the refs, people are talking about the refs, but they weren't the reason we lost. That's true. The reason we lost because we had an epic collapse. Both Fred and John Tory down bad. Yeah, that's tough right there. The same old Raptors can't close this game out. Didn't call, no block. No blocked. Announcers didn't call, no blocked for Powell. Yeah, I thought that was I thought he definitely had one block on a dunk, but you know, the crowd used to be the sixth man. Now the crowd has been flat lately. No real fans. It's fair. The stadium doesn't sound as exciting. It doesn't sound as fun. And when you're giving out performances like this, it's hard for fans to be engaged. Obviously, you know, Raptors thick and thin. We suck. Even if we sucked, the fans would be more engaged because we'd be rooting for Scotty. We'd be rooting for different things. But right now, especially following this trade deadline, we are rooting for the Toronto Raptors to win. Right? You don't acquire a Jakob Poeltl if you're not trying to make a push for the playoffs, and we just can't put things together. It's unfortunate. But Tom Edens coming in with the super chat saying the future is Yakko Loco. Mark my words. Hey, we'll get real big out there in the front line. Love to see it. That's that's true. Talhan Khan and say I'm tired of being mediocre. Should have sold at the deadline. Yeah, I don't know. We didn't have some good offers. We did not have some good offers come our way for our guys. So it's unfortunate. But Ujiri thought we could pull a Kyle Dubas and mostly stand pat at a relevant trade deadline. And we'll be fired. Whoa. David's calling for the front office to be fired. I don't think we fire any chance to fire Masai, but I don't know. Definitely, I'm not overreacting to one game. I'm still happy with the Jakob Poeltl trade. But definitely didn't look good tonight. Even though Jakob Poeltl looked good, our team didn't look good. Like the direction of the organization didn't look good, to clarify. Sup, Ben? Hope you're doing great. Tough loss though the loss today. Jakob Poeltl was decent, but he's getting used to our offensive defensive schemes. The refs sold my game. Hey, Gurman's out here with 8, 12, and 12 and 3 blocks. Jeez. Raptors should pick up Gurman. That's my take. But yeah, we'll be fine. Thoughts? I thought we were done with the tank. That is the hardest part. I moved on. Now we're back. So the Raptors, in theory, should be better with Jakob Poeltl. We did look like Jakob Poeltl definitely has a positive impact out there on the court. Like our defense looks a lot better having a true center out there. At what point, even with all that being said, because the tanking momentum, the hype for playing kazoos and getting all that sort of going, right? That's pushed back with the acquisition of Jakob Poeltl. But at what point do we really start rooting for the tank? We start really going for it. Because I'm pushing for this team. I'm rooting for this team to win. So I was engaged in this game, ready to get it going. More engaged, more excited than I've been for a lot of Raptors games in recent months. But we just couldn't get it going. We just couldn't get going in this one. I don't want to overreact. I don't, because there's only one game with Jakob Poeltl. We're in a new era, the big yak era of Raptors basketball, but it's tough. And Tube Dude is saying the Raptors are suspect. Apologize for my yawn. Yeah, the refs did have some weird calls, but the Jazz just came at us and came at us. They're attacking the rim. They weren't settling. They were doing a... How are we feeling? How are we feeling about this team? Like, I want everyone to put their rational hats on. I want everyone to zoom out. Are we good? And obviously, these post-game reactions are for the raw reaction, not for coherent takes or anything. But are people, write down tank or compete? Where are people's heads at? In the comment section right now, in the chat. I just want to gauge our community's vibes right now. I will see you in the Eastern Conference Finals. Bet. Okay. I'm with it. Guess who couldn't make a jump shot? Whew, that's one thing that that's also needs to be addressed as Jakob Poeltl. 2 of 7 from the free throw line. Ugly. That's going to be a problem if Jakob Poeltl cannot knock down free throws. Whoever built a team around an undrafted 6-footer. Tough. I thought, hey. It is what it is. Oh my god, apologize for yawns. Throat's a bit sore. But I thought this was tough. Looked much better, though. We looked great for like 40 minutes of this game. That's the real deflating thing. That's why I can't... This is... Yeah, a lot of people are saying tank. And people are saying no OG tonight. OG would have definitely helped. This team has the same issues, and now we have Yak. The roster has peaked. So Josh, Jay, Sam. But I think we can still tank even with Jakob paying. Hey, that's the thing. The Toronto Raptors are actively trying to win games, and we are losing to bad teams. That's the real unfortunate thing. That's the real issue that we have. And Tristan say I like this roster. True. You know, Tom M's coming in with another super chat. Appreciate the super chats, Tom. Saying 2 words, granny shot. Hey, I like that. You know, we got to get Jakob Poeltl's free throw shooting. It's 2 of 7. I was so ready to be excited about this team. I was so ready to be coming in here and getting hyped, but we look so good too. I was feeling good. I was watching this team play. It's tough to even I apologize for the light analysis on this. Honestly, there hasn't been much analysis on the post-game reactions in about a month because this team has been so deflating. But shout out to Boucher, though. He's been doing a lot lately. Boucher's trying. I love the effort from Chris Boucher. That's one thing I do have to give a lot of credit for because that is huge. And I agree, Tristan couldn't agree more. We did look a lot better. My throat is definitely sore. It's lots of videos lately. Lots of videos during the trade deadline. But go to sleep, man. Yeah, it's I'm interested in the chat, seeing what people have to say. The odds are coming in high. Just play a basketball game too. Things could be worse. Imagine being a Nets fan. The one thing I am so happy with is the Nets just collapsing. Even though they have a Canadian owner, they're my least favorite franchise, least favorite organization, all that stuff. This was Utah at home. Just beside watch this monkey business. I don't know if he's watching right now. He's definitely watching. We'll see if things shake up. It's okay. Sad ending, but let's go Raps. No tanking. I'm in the same boat right now, Frenchie. But at what point do we change? That's what I wanna know. What people's thoughts are at fake comeback. Yeah, we had the fake win today. No fake comebacks. Many dopey players. We need a player that sets the fire like Kyle Lowry. True, especially at the end of games. It's true. I do think we'll bounce back. I have confidence this team will bounce back, but tomorrow morning I'll be back on the hype train for this Raptors team. But following the loss, I'm feeling sad. Masai needs to take the blame. You can only bring in Poeltl and fix this one problem. Need to upgrade the bench and get shooters. Yeah, Masai even said that. We need to become a better shooter team. So, Nets least favorite. I guess someone forgot about Philly and Boston. Honestly, I'm not even a big Philly hater. I think the Philadelphia 76ers are a funny team. Now, basketball aesthetically wise, I hate watching the Sixers play, but the Brooklyn Nets just have tortured my soul for my entire life. As a child, they stole away Vince Carter from me. I didn't even know what was going on the screen, but I knew the guy that dunked a lot was now in a different squad, so that sucked. First playoff series I ever witnessed, the Raptors get slapped by the New Jersey Nets. Hated that. 2014, the Raptors bounce back. We get robbed by Paul Pierce being an absolute clown and fraud and all that sort of stuff. But Game 7 there, that was a brutal series to witness. Then they take away a couple of our draft picks to acquire DeMar Carroll. And then for a while there, they had my two least favorite players in Kyrie and Kevin Durant. So happy to see them. Happy to see the Nets fall. Preying on the Nets' downfall. Explain why you don't want to tank. Please explain, lol, because it seems stupid at this point. I think this team can do anything in the postseason. Yeah, but it's like a culture thing, Jeff. If we go on a little run to end off this season, if the team looks good, if the players are playing talented, then we can build off it, right? We can build things. We can, it takes one move, right, to be a solid playoff team, to be a contender. And unfortunately, we're not looking like that right now. Playing for what? I'll root for the tank when we can only get to the play-in. I have confidence. We're only 4 games back of 4 games back. I don't even know where we're at now, actually, after this loss, but of the not playing situation, maybe 4.5, 5. So it's doable. It's only February, guys. It's early February. So can we get Reggie Jackson for point guard off the bench? We need someone. I mean, look at the box score, guys. 39 minutes for Pascal Siakam. Precious is like our not usual starter. 39 minutes for Scotty Barnes. 35 minutes for Fred VanVleet. And 39 for Gary Trent Jr. Those are league-leading-esque minutes there. Jakob Poeltl, I guess Poeltl had foul trouble. Thaddeus Young, but it's all of our players play like the same position. They do the same things and they're not good at it. At least right now. I don't know. Yeah, the end of this game. Brutal. 5 games back. Yeah. If we can push for the playoffs, we should push for the playoffs. If we're out and we're like the 10th seed, like we can only get the play-in, then sure, we tank. Right? That's the route. But if we can get the playoffs, it's only February, folks. Right? We got loads of time. I prefer the tank for a pick this year. Maybe some moves down for a few positions. Man, imagine we're like a deep lottery team. We don't even have our draft pick for next year. And that's why I made that video this morning. The Raptors overpaid for Jakob Poeltl. I think it was the right trade. You can overpay for someone comparing the market value, but that pick is valuable. I think people are overlooking the value of a top 6 protected first round pick. That's just what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And what's your favorite JavaScript framework? Dust. Dust.js. Get weird with it. What's it? Marionette. Get weird with things. The team is a complete embarrassment of Canada. True. Push for Patrick Beverley. Get the play-in trophy. That would be fun. Wembanyama's out of the picture. People are delusional. I don't know, Pippi Poppy, whatever your name is. Sevi Pippi Poppy. I butchered that name. But the odds, if you're in like the bottom 7, you have a pretty good odds of getting into the top 4. I mean, we're like the 7th seed, I believe. We got into the top 4 and acquired Scotty Barnes, so that's huge. Yes, Pistons win. Let's tank. Let's go. Hey, that stuff with the James Wiseman, Gary Payton II, Sadiq Bey trade is crazy. That's some wild stuff there. The Blazers are giving this guy Toradol so he can get out there on the court. It's insanity. That trade might not fall through. But they played 3 games. Their best 7 players all year. Once again, no OG. Seems dangerous and healthy, but bad when injured. Yeah, we don't have the depth. That's what's happening. The watch-alongs are pretty off and on this season. Yeah, the Raptors are pretty off and on as well. It's tough. David wasn't offered. That wasn't offered? What was offered? What are the trades people are talking about? Missed it in the chat. What's the direction of this team, Ben? The direction is we're trying to push for the playoffs right now. We are not actively tanking. But our team is put together in such a way it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We have too many guys that are big that can't shoot. And yes, we have more depth, which helps us in the front court now with the acquisition of Jakob Poeltl. But it doesn't help our lack of shooting. So we are trying. We are trying to win. We're trying to figure it out, put it together. But the two guys that are supposed to be like our nice shooters, Gary Trent Jr. has been a little bit inconsistent this season, but in the past month and a half, he's been the star boy. Right? He's been holding up his end of the bargain, doing his sort of thing. But Fred VanVleet has not consistently been the player we need him to be. It's the only way to put it. And given his value at the trade deadline, I would be shocked if he's getting that big contract. Shocked. Even though I'm a big Fred VanVleet apologist. Why didn't the Raptors get rid of Flynn? If we're going to play in like 5 minutes, we need to play Delano or something. We need to do something out there, boys. We need to do something. Direction is to have many competitive losses. So MLSE makes their money, recoups their assets. But keep playing Fred VanVleet helps with the tank. That's tough. Gary Trent Jr. about to come off the bench so he can play. Yeah, that's insane. And Orlando paying Fred VanVleet at least $30 million. If Orlando gives them that contract, we're not going to be able to match a $30 million per year contract for Fred. That could end up being one of the. I'm overreacting. Fred deserves mid-20s. He deserves mid-20s money. Yo, you single? Shout, what's up, Minogi? Did you ask about the JavaScript framework? I'm married to the Raptors Digest, the old Digest media brand. No wifeys on the go currently. Masai says he spoke to Nurse about playing guys more to develop him, so Nurse plays Flynn for 5 minutes. Yeah. No Delano tonight, no Jeff Doughton. I want to see Jeff Doughton get some minutes. I will continue on this wave. But I can see sign-in trades coming, a few in the offseason. Maybe. No more John Tory. Wild stuff there. Why do we even have a team that's built like this? No other team does this. What is it? Every genius is crazy, or what does Kanye always say? Name one genius that ain't crazy. Sometimes you get wild rosters, and sometimes you don't. The team will pull through 8 against 5. Not a conspiracy theorist, but it was a ref hit job. The reffing was bad. But we just collapsed at the end. The shots weren't going down. People want Joey's camp back on the Raptors. Love to see it. But dieting should play more. Doughton. I think Doughton. Yeah. Dieting should play more of a factor. I think Banton should get minutes. He's always good when he's played. He's been inconsistent when he's played, but he has shown flashes of being very, very solid. Tank for Wemby saying, get Ibaka back. Ibaka would be cool. Ibaka would help out the vibes, the emotion of this team. So, but again, that's another dude that's a forward that isn't a great shooter at this point in his career. So we need guards that shoot. That's the issue. What are people saying with Siakam? Stop the Siakam talk. Siakam was good tonight. Had a not the greatest fourth quarter, even though he did hit some shots in the fourth, but Siakam was solid. But Precious at crunch time, Nick Nurse owns that. One thing we will have to look at regarding Jakob Poeltl playing down the stretch is The 2 of 7 free throw shooting that we saw from him tonight, 60% on the season. Got some Ben Simmons-esque free throw shooting from Jakob Poeltl. I haven't seen him play. Yeah, I haven't seen Serge play this season either. He hasn't been getting some money, or hasn't been getting minutes. And Scotty must stop yelling at the ref all day long, getting back on defense. Here's my take. Why do people just straight up be yelling at referees? Like, as someone that's reffed 3 times in their life, the mentality, like, I'm a horrible ref. I'm the worst basketball ref. I used to be going at refs as well, screaming at them, all that sort of stuff. But when I was refereeing and someone was complaining, especially like obnoxiously, I'm not giving that kid any calls. I'm not giving that dude any calls. I'm not letting that stuff happen. So I realized, like, this is, to a certain extent, must be what every single referee feels. Like, if someone's yelling at him, barking at him, and all that sort of stuff the whole time, like, right aggressively, I'm not giving them calls. That's what they do, right? And they still do it to this day. So it's we do what Shea does and compliment the refs. And I think there was an insane stat that Shea, following Shea, giving credit to all the referees in the NBA, like leading the league in free throws. That might be completely made up, but I think he's had like a significant jump in his free throws per game since he's been complimenting the refs. That's my take. Raptors should do that. Where's the new tank animation? It's not here yet. I'm not bought into the tank. We just traded. We just made a win now move. We can't go full tank following one loss, but we looked better for 40 minutes of this game as well. Just something about this team, man, and I don't know who said the quote, but it was something the Raptors, like, good teams always just find a way to win. That's what they do, right? And bad teams just find a way to lose. And right now, the Toronto Raptors are bad. It's tough. Bad ref, expect a call from Adam Silver. Hey, I can come out here and ref these NBA games, boys. We'll get it. We'll make it happen. The problem is the point of attack defense. Sexton. The Sexton Fred VanVleet beef is also one of the funniest things in the NBA going on right now. Whenever they play against each other, they're always getting heated, getting into scuffles. At the end of this game, we had a little OGs play of the day. Fred got the kazoo. He's also getting the OGs because him and Sexton were going at it at the end of this game. It's brutal, but it's got some pace bills. And if you guys are interested in sports betting, definitely check out the Cool Bet Sportsbook. They're a sportsbook available in Canada, regulated in Ontario, available all across Canada. Bet every single Toronto Raptors game, NBA game, or sporting event in general. And currently tonight, you could have bet on the Toronto Raptors. I think I still have the odds in this game. The Raptors are favorited. They are favorited in this one, I believe. So you could have made some money betting against betting against the Toronto Raptors. But shout out to CoolBet for supporting the podcast. If you are interested in sports betting, definitely use the CoolBet Sportsbook. Best place to do it. But Minoki's saying, have you been hitting the gym? I've been working too hard. Yeah, I try to hit the gym every morning. Waking up. That's why I think I'm a little bit more tired on these old pods. I'm not usually tired. I think my fatigue is the fact the Raptors just suck. But getting up earlier, getting those lifts in, gotta stay hustling. Poeltl's a better rim protector, better passer, better rim finisher, better rebounder. Who we comparing? But I don't know who he's comparing, but Poeltl's good. Poeltl ain't do nothing. Jeez. But it's 1.5 games. Does your change in here reflect the change of perspective of the Raptors? Used to be so positive about them. Yeah. This is the haircut I've had my whole life. And I was one person that passionately argued that Andrea Bargnani is the next Dirk Nowitzki. So this is, I had the grown out hair, because I came in. We launched, like the face cam stuff with during the pandemic. The hair is a pandemic thing. Finally cut it back. I like the curls, though. Try to keep the curls, keep the mess going. But What about DeMarcus Cousins? I don't know if we need any more bigs. I think we need some shooters off the bench. You've been looking bigger. Appreciate it. Trying to get swole. Get swole and cut. Do my thing out there. But I think will roast Detroit. Those guys, the worst in the league. Is that the next team we're playing against? I don't even know. I was focused on this Utah game. I was hyped. I was stoked. I was ready to go. But keep it up, Ben. Stop being delusional. It takes time to build up a champ. We will get there. Chemistry will be back if we really want it. That's true. That's true. We just need a good win. A good win to get our season back on track. But how did they lose leading that much in the fourth? Valley, I don't know, man. We were looking real good. I was feeling happy. Starting to do up the thumbnails, and maybe I jinxed it starting the thumbnail, like Raptors, the 4-game win streak, or whatever I was going to title this. But no. We're coming in here with a Raptors therapy session. Once again, we're doing it. Now you got to re-sign all these bums. Can't tank. People are not happy, and I get it. Tomorrow morning we'll be back. The optimism will be back, but the reaction, we just gotta be open. You're gonna keep it a buck. Your live streams are the only ones I watch for real. But okay, I appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you supporting the pods, supporting the streams we got going. Pearl's a good defender, but the problem is the perimeter defense of opposing players just can't pass to the first line defense. There's nothing we can do. Fred VanVleet is a liability on defense. I want a bigger sample size. I want a bigger sample size to see with Jakob Poeltl, because the defense did look better with him in the lineup for at least. He wasn't even in there for much of the fourth quarter either. So the defense did look better with Jakob Poeltl out there. But Fred VanVleet is a significant liability. And we always were used to say he was matchup driven, but like Colin Sexton, I know he's a quick guard, he can get to the rim, he's a slasher and stuff, but he was getting worked by Fred. He was working Fred VanVleet. Bring DeMar and Kyle when cap space opens up. I'd love if Kyle gets bought out, bring him off the bench. That's my take. Do you think Poeltl's worth a first-round pick, top 6 protected? 2 seconds. He's definitely worth it. Like, in a vacuum, that trade is a steal for the Toronto Raptors. But, given the context of this Raptors team, there's questions. Because if our team is if we can't figure it out with this type of group before next season, that pick is going to be ridiculously good for the San Antonio Spurs. Like, we'll probably be a 10th seed again. A top 10 pick for Jakob Poeltl. You can argue it, but it's not very, It's interesting. But for a, mid to late first round pick, I'm doing that all day for Yak. I do hope it pushes him aside to finally admit that the bench and shooters this weekend, we signed one. Also, Wade Flynn signed 2 shooters. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, Malachi Flynn. What do you have in this one? 0 points and 6 minutes of action. Didn't get a lot of run. But Raptors is weak, says Allen. We are weak right now. The commentators were saying how Poeltl was shocked because he has never been called for so many fouls in San Antonio. Hey, welcome to the Raptors, baby. That's how it goes. But this one hurt more. I think they were U18 at one point. They're up 18. We're up by like 13. 5 minutes to go in this game, so 4 minutes or something. If we get Lowry from the buyout market, I'd want him to be our starter over Fred. Honestly, it's not even a hot take at this point. Big Mon, Junior Big Mon. But I mean, if we can't figure it out, can't Bobby and Masai say make sure they land within that 1 to 6 spot? Maybe. And Ben, I have a request. Can you or Josh get a live stream going for the Super Bowl Sunday? Also, fun facts. I am 8 of 12 in the clutch time. Worst game winner overtime. Attaboy, Kerman. Let's go. And unfortunately, I cannot do a live stream during Super Bowl as I have a basketball game the exact same time. And as someone that knows nothing about football, I I'm sacking the Super Bowl parties and coming out and trying to get a dub for the old Ringers squad. That's what we're trying to do. So no lives during the old Super Bowl. But honestly, I don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl right now. Just rooting for the 49ers maybe for a couple games there. And Vele is saying that his mental health is tough right now. Well, that's why we're out here in a Raptors therapy session. Keep everyone's mental health up. Get everyone back on the same page. I skipped the game. Definitely don't blame you guys for skipping the games. But yeah. And Gurman's also got a game. Hope you win as well, Gurman. Tristan, I knew Tristan's JK, but honestly, I don't blame you for skipping games at this point. Just stay here, stay tuned for the live streams. But folks, I'm deflated. I apologize. I don't like coming out here being sad on the pods. A little bit tired. The Raptors didn't help with that. So, if you guys are interested, I'll skip game. But folks, you guys are the best to make it. Oh, I'll skip games. No, I'm not skipping no basketball games to watch a bit of football. I'm a hooper at heart, baby. I'm a hooper at heart. But you guys are the best for making it this far. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, all that cool stuff. But subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping a lot of vids. Got 149 people in here. If you made it this far in a live stream such as this one, it'd mean the world to me if you guys could hit that sub button. But anyways, enough of me rambling. Life will be good. We'll be fine. I'm signing out. Cheers.